news, President Muhammadu Buhari berates the Nigerian elite for being very selfish rather than thinking more of the people's welfare. Governor Yahaya Bello says his administration has worked assiduously to fulfill the mandate the people of Kogi State entrusted to him twice. Oil-rich Algeria unveils green energy plan, will invest heavily in renewable energy. And in sport, the fourth round of the FA Cup gets underway Friday. Premier League leaders Arsenal face Manchester City in a heavyweight tie at ETIHAD Stadium. This is MLC TV Global News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Morno Balagbobo. Thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday in Katsina State berated the Nigerian elite for being very selfish rather than uniting their might for the welfare of their fellow citizens. Buhari said at a luncheon after commissioning at least 7 infrastructural projects executed by the Katsina State government. According to Buhari, the standard of living in the country would be more bearable if the elite thought more of the people. Reminiscing a supposed golden era in global oil prices, the president regretted that the previous administrations did not maximize the available resources for infrastructural growth when a barrel of crude oil sold for $100. According to him, citizens are more concerned about the results of the government that government can provide in terms of security and the economy. Buhari applauded Governor Aminu Masari of Katsina State for prioritizing basic infrastructure for the people despite limited resources. Governor Yahaya Bello says his administration has worked assiduously to fulfill the mandate the people of Kogi State have so enthusiastically entrusted to him twice. The governor stated this at an address at the New Direction Administration's 7th anniversary, said the administration has executed life-transforming projects across the length and breadth of the state, from city to town to villages, even hamlets. Governor Bello expressed satisfaction that the achievements were achieved at a time when the Naira has been steadily contracting in real value and supply. Was upbeat that his administration can boast of any array of projects numbering in their thousands. The projects, the governor explained, includes hundreds of primary, secondary and tertiary healthcare and educational institutions, which the administration has built from scratch or substantially reconstructed. Others are brand new infrastructure and utilities that cut across all sectors, which were designed and built to improve the lives of our people in both urban and rural areas. The governor said since his inauguration, his administration has overseen an accelerated and proportional transformation of the state through innovative thinking and prudent management of all resources, human, financial, material, and natural. Governor Bello also noted that Kogi State, as at today, is more secured, united, and peaceful than any other time since her creation. Governor Bello thanked the great people of Kogi State for their trust and support from inception till date, assuring that the next 1 year is going to be hectic as the administration intends to multiply geometrically in creativity, innovation, and productivity. The Special Advisor to Governor Yahaya Bello on Youths and Students Affairs and APC Director Youths Mobilization, Ahmed Jibril Uludare, congratulates Governor Bello at 7 years in office. He commended him of his giant strides in all sectors of the economy. Ahmed gave the commendation when he featured on the political arena of Malachite Television Online. He also appreciated Governor Bello for carrying youths along, saying he has demonstrated all the good characters of a leader.
First, I want to congratulate the entirety of Kogi people for 7 years of purposeful, impactful, project-oriented, and youth-owned leadership for 7 years and still counting by the grace of God. It's been a wonderful experience. You cannot know how beautiful it is until you witness what Kogi used to be before now. So yes, we are celebrating our 7 years in office for Governor BELLO and the new direction team that is working with him to ensure that the people of Kogi get the best and good governance and dividends of governance. Project has been wonderful. So many projects here and there. If you want me to start listing them to you, I'm going to make you so tired. But I'll just take 3 catchment areas and I just want you to digest. We have Operation Light Up Kogi East. Governor BELLO has given over 200 communities electricity. He has connected them to the main grid. That is number 1. Number 2, road infrastructures. His Excellency has contracted to Imani Ogugu Road, the one in Aingba Road, the road in Kaba, the one in Kini Central Road. The roads are just too enormous for me to start counting. The roads inside Lokoja, there is no way you go inside the heart of Lokoja and you don't see a newly tarred road. In fact, as I speak to you now, work is still ongoing in other areas of Kogi State. From Zone 8 to Assembly Quarters, road is ongoing. And we are still doing more. Do you want me to talk about healthcare? Kogi is now the new headquarter of health infrastructure and medical tourism. We have in Ukini, we have in Isolu, we have in Gebubiki, we have in Ayamba, and we have a lot more like that. Please tell me, why wouldn't we say we're having a new era of new governance? My brother, I don't want to talk about security. Let the people in the street of Kogi State attest to that. How well they sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Thank you.
In the game of governorship election in Kogi State, Ahmed said the next governor will be from APC.
In Kogi State, the person who will come after Governor Yahaya Bello will be progressive, will be an APC man. Because in Kogi, we have quashed and we have normalized, we have neutralized any opposition. We are APC 100%. And I can assure you that the person who will come after Governor Yahaya Bello will be APC and will come on the template of the party as progressives to bring dividends of good governance to the people.
And on his plans to be vying for any political position, he has this to say.
For now, no. My major aspiration as a person is support this government one step at a time. When we're done with this 8 years, we've supported the government and we've ensured that APC succeeds APC. I think any other thing can come. For me, if you don't know, I'm a very proud lecturer of pharmacy in MUHAMMADU BELLO University, and I have my records showing there for me. And if you know lecturers or academicians, you know we're very attached to the classroom. My eye is not on just one ball. You can serve people from different spheres of life. And if the call comes again that, hey, come and still serve people, I'll go on my knees and I pray to my Creator to give me guidance. And if there is light in that path that has been newly defined, I'll toe that path. And if there is no light, I'll decline and stay where I am and be thankful for what God has done.
Ahmed prayed for Governor Bello and urged youths to be law-abiding and obey their parents.
I always say, what more could we ask from God, if not Yahaya Bello? Our prayers to God Almighty is, as we're 7 years gone and now approaching the final lap of the race, we pray that God gives us the blessings and the grace, the mercy and the consideration of giving us a kind-hearted, young, youth-dedicated and project-oriented governor to succeed Governor Yahaya Bello. I know God can do it because I know that we have laid the template and others will follow. His moral value as a people tells a lot about how far we go. Parental ethics used to define who we were in Nigeria. I encourage the youths of Nigeria to be law-abiding, obedient to their parents, hardworking, not to be too sharp or eager that I must make it today, but they should plan and work smartly on how to make it. Because the sky is big, that so many of us can rise, but we can only rise long if we rise legitimately. So let our youths go to school, let our youths be educated, let our youths be creative, innovative, and entrepreneurship in nature to see how we can thrive. And I'm sure that we'll get there.
Kogi State House of Assembly Service Commission has joined numerous well-wishers to felicitate with the governor of the state, YAHAYA BELLO, on the third year of his second tenure in office. The chairman of the commission, Malik Andas, in a statement described the saddle of leadership under the governor as eventful and memorable. Malik noted that the second tenure of the governor recorded impressive project execution, which has direct impact on the lives of the people and has continued to make positive improvement in terms of provision of infrastructures and human capital development. While extolling the leadership style of the governor, the chairman said Bello has in the last 7 years demonstrated equity, fairness and justice in the affairs of the state, proving to be a detribalized leader whose interest is geared towards good governance, thereby uplifting the lives of the citizens, especially the downtrodden. He maintained that the governor has written his name in the sands of time through some legacy projects executed by his administration. He commended the governor for his giant strides recorded in the development of the state. Malik, on behalf of himself, members and staff of the commission, congratulated the governor and members of his cabinet and prayed Allah to grant them the strength and wherewithal to complete their second tenure in office. Kogi State Governor YAHAYA BELLO has been commended for providing policies and good governance for the people of the state. Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Electronic Media, Billy Avoy Nwogu, gave the commendation in a statement to mark the governor's 7 years in office in Lokoja, the state capital. Avoy explained that since the governor's assumption of office in the state, he has prioritized the security of lives and property of the citizens, saying that such cumulated to the numerous development that has taken place both in the private and public sectors in the confluence of opportunities. The SSA on electronic media noted that issues of tribalism, religious or class differences has been laid to rest in the state, describing Bello as a detribalized leader. She pointed out that the reference hospital Okene flyover bridge at Ganaja Junction, Lokoja, the Confluence University of Science and Technology of Sara, rural electrification projects in Kogi East, amongst numerous others, are the legacy projects carried out by the governor, affirming him as a visionary leader with high taste for quality development. On youth and women involvement in governance, Billy Avoy Nwogu rated Governor Bello highest among his counterparts, addressing him as a man with the Midas touch. While wishing him successful completion of his second tenure in office, she also prayed God to give the people of Kogi a governor that will be able to build on the legacies of the current administration in all ramifications. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has declared his readiness to issue a warrant of arrest on the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, if he fails to appear before its committee. The House had set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the scarcity of the new naira at the deposit money banks, also known as commercial banks, leading to tension over the January 31st deadline set by the CBN for the exchange of the old notes with the newly designed notes. Chairman of the committee, Al-Hassan Adodogua, at the plenary informed the House about the non-appearance of the CBN chiefs before it on Wednesday. He noted that the committee had rescheduled the meeting. The Speaker said the House would exercise its powers as contained in Section 89 of the 1999 Constitution. Gbajabiamila also noted that the CBN Act allows the admittance of an old naira note by banks even after it had ceased to be legal tender. Gbajabiamila said instead of the House adjourning plenary till February 28 for the elections as planned, the lawmakers would reconvene on Tuesday to take an action against Emefiele and other bank chiefs who failed to show up. Commercial activities in Abuja, the federal capital city, suffered serious hitches as bank customers find it difficult to access cash from ATM machines. This is owing to the fact that most ATM dispensing machines were not loaded or had run out of cash, causing long queues in front of the bank premises. The situation became worrisome to the extent that some banks had to deploy mobile ATM vehicles to clear the surging crowd. One of the bank officials in UBA Area 3, who spoke to Malachite TV under condition of anonymity, said they are working hard to meet customers' demands. It was a remarkable turnaround and a way to kickstart the year as the Lagos State government embarked on a massive training to empower the youth on catfish farm. The workshop was themed Empowering the Youth for the 21st Century Challenges, was approved by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and designed to reach out to about 750 youths which were selected at the Lagos State Center for Rural Development Office Complex along Itokun Ekpe Road, Igbodu. Our reporter has more.
Tadeni Stephen, the director Serud, in his keynote said that the goal is to reach out to rural farmers that are into catfish farm and also to assist them in areas of their challenges.
Ilé-iṣẹ́ wa yìí ó wà fún ìdàgbàsókè àwọn ìgbèríko. Àwọn nǹkan tí ẹ rí pé ó kò sí ní àdúgbò yín nítorí a fẹ́ kí àwọn tó ń gbé ìgbèríko kan tún máa padà wá sí ìgboro láti tún wá máa gbé níbẹ̀. Tẹ́mọ̀ ìgboro ti wà already overpopulated. Àwọn tá a wà níbí yìí ẹ wò atẹ́gùn àrùn àlàáfíà tá a bá fẹ́ dákun sí àjẹ nǹkan tó ń wà á dákun á ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. So àwọn nǹkan tá a bá rí pé a fẹ́ láti mú ayé dẹrùn fún wa ní ibi tí a wà.
He noted that the second phase of the training is going to be done differently, as the issue of funding their business and accessing credit facilities will be included.
Center for Rural Development, we are here to assist our rural farmers, those living in the rural areas. The center provides 5 major basic facilities for those in the rural areas. One is rural road. Just last year, we got approval of Mr. Governor to construct a rural road for one of our communities. Apart from roads, we also provide rural electrification. So if you know that in your area, you don't have electricity, or peradventure, the transformer you are having cannot carry the load within that community, you can approach us.
Also at the training, addressing the youth, Otumba Femi Oke, the chairman of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Lagos State and Southwest, AFAN, thanked the present administration for their efforts and for providing this opportunity.
We are using this medium to say a very big thank you to the government in power. And we are promising them that by the grace of God, we are going to give them our support come the next election by the grace of God.
He encouraged the youths not to relent, as agriculture is one of the keys if Nigeria must have a variable economy.
Agriculture is the major key which we are now embracing. In other things you can retire, in agri you don't retire. Even if you are able to do a small farming behind your house, you are on. And farmers are now enjoying the benefits of the government.
Dr. Akinloye Busari, in his vast knowledge over the years, was one of the facilitators who gave a comprehensive lecture and practical ways on how the youth can become a successful catfish farmer. This
is what is called heterobrancos. Heterobrancos. Those have in a year. And go break into two.
He also embraced other added value chains of catfish farming.
Chemical parameters pH. This is a pH meter. pH meter here only the level of acidity or alkalinity pH meter.
Furthermore, Mr. Tiamiyu, who is the managing partner of Tiamiyu Adesina, gave an insight on how the farmers can access loans and strategic financial decisions they can make to expand their business in Nigeria.
Àwọn kan tún wà nínú agency of government pé ẹ máa ní àǹfààní láti rí owó gbà. Now one of them is what they call wealth creation. Wealth creation yìí ó ní limit. Owó tó ní kálukú bá lè gbà bó bá ṣe rí náà ló ṣe máa fún ẹ lówó sí. But kò sí bó ṣe máa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe tó bá ti ní lára àwọn prerequisite tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ò lè bá wọn dòwò pọ̀ o. Àwọn kan náà dẹ̀ tún wà ń bẹ̀ irú bọ́ọ̀gà jẹ́ ń sọ látẹ̀kọ́ tẹ́ bá ti sọ́kọ̀ ẹ ní ìdí nǹkan báyìí. Ẹ kọ lẹ́tà, ẹ kọ application. Tẹ́ bá ti kọ application sí Serut. Through wọn, ọmọ inform government.
Mr. Bukola Balogun, who was one of the participants, gave his utmost gratitude to the organizers that he now have a better understanding about catfish farming.
I won't be lying to you. What I've not known for longer, even I have been duped, or I would say, or shall I say, what I also have spent little on. They have ripped me off on what should be my profit on, or whatever I used to start the business. But now, with everything I have gotten from this place, I believe I can now stand on my own. I can rest assured that.
While Aminat Omoumi Atiku said she can now start her catfish farming business.
My plans are to, after this program, as in I think of doing something because I learned a lot.
It was a moment of joy and an eye-opening from the participants as they were issued certificates. Questions and answers sections was not left unturned, as it also gave everyone the opportunity to network together. Report filed by Emmanuel Mbonu, Adenike Dada, reporting for MLC TV, Lagos, Nigeria.
And now 2 stories in politics. The House of Representatives has raised the alarm over the imminent disenfranchisement of Nigerian youths, especially those in higher institutions of learning, as the schools are scheduling examinations close to the forthcoming general elections. At the plenary on Thursday, the House particularly urged the National Universities Commission, the National Board for Technical Education, the National Commission of 4 colleges of education, and the Federal Ministry of Education to direct all tertiary institutions to suspend academic activities during the period of elections. The House also urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to make special arrangements for the students to collect their permanent voters' cards. Furthermore, the lawmakers mandated the House committees on tertiary education and electoral matters to liaise with the agencies to facilitate the process and report back to the chamber within 1 week for further legislative action. These resolutions follow the unanimous adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by a member of the House, Kabil Tukura, titled Urgent Need to Give the Students of Tertiary Institutions of Learning in Nigeria an Opportunity to Vote in the General Election. The lawmakers said the House is concerned that these students, who constitute 40.8% of the newly registered voters, have their polling units sited in states outside their campuses, thereby necessitating traveling outside their respective institutions to vote in the 2023 elections. The Osun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Osogbo has declared Governor Adegboyega Oyetola as the winner of the 16th July 2022 governorship election. The judgment was delivered at the High Court in Osogbo. Reading the majority judgment, the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Tesi Kume, said the election was made by overvoting. He thereby deducted the number of overvoting presented by Oyetola, the APC candidate. Kume said having deducted the overvoting figure, Oyetola scored 314,921, while Ademola gathered 219,000 plus. And according to the tribunal of the ground of the petition before it is 3. They are that Adeleke was not qualified to contest based on his academic qualifications. Others are that Adeleke was not elected by the majority of the electorates and that the election conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission was not in compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act. Justice Kume said the petitioners were challenging the results of the election in 10 local government areas, which are Ede North, Ede South, Egbedor, Ejibo, Ilesha West, Hirepodun, and Obokun, Olorunda, and Oshobo. In reaction, the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has rejected the decision of the Osun State Election Petition Tribunal, which obtained his victory and declared Boyega Oyetola of APC as winner. Adeleke, in a statement shortly after the tribunal's judgment, described as a miscarriage of justice, vowing to challenge the ruling at the Court of Appeal. We'll now go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us.
Remember, February 2023 is the general election where you will have the opportunity to elect a new president, governors, national and state assembly members to pilot the affairs of Nigeria for another 4 years. Visit INEC office to get your PVC, which is your power to elect credible leaders. Say no to electoral violence. Say no to vote buying. Say no to thuggery before, during, and after the elections. This message is brought to you by MLC TV.
As suggested in the motion.
From 31st January to June 31st, 2023, say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it.
Do you know what it takes to lead? Do you understand what is politics? Do you have issues concerning the way we play politics? Do you have reservations about some political mugu? Do you want to serve or be served? Do you want to contest? Do you want to occupy any political office or be in charge of your world? All this and many more are what we discuss right here in the political arena. A program where we trash and rage, condemn and commend, celebrate and blame all that play out in politics. Do not be told. Join me, One Available, every Saturday by 7 p.m. to throw more light on why we play politics the way we do and how we can play it better. Political Arena, building a government of the people and for the people. Don't miss it. Welcome back from the break, and now to stories on crime. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission on Thursday rearrested a former registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, Professor Adedibu Ojerinde in Abuja. Ojerinde's arrest followed a warrant issued by the Federal High Court in Abuja. He is expected to face a team of investigators over new evidence uncovered in relation to his ongoing trial over the alleged diversion of funds while he was a public officer. The spokesperson for the anti-graft agency, Azuka Ogugua, revealed this in a statement to newsmen on Thursday. Ogugua noted that the commission had on December 12, 2022, invited the former JAMB registrar for questioning over the new evidence, but wrote through his solicitor requesting 14 days grace to enable him to honor the invitation. Ojerinde, however, refused to honor the invitation as undertaken by his counsel after the expiration of the 14-day grace period. In the course of its ongoing investigation, the ICPC operatives unearthed new evidence that suggests that Ojerinde is the sole signatory to various bank accounts operated in the name of Trillium Learning Center Limited and Sapati International School Limited. The ICPC has recovered the checkbooks of the company's accounts from Ojerinde, who has been taken into custody at the headquarters of the commission. If the new evidence is confirmed, it may likely prosecute the former registrar before a court of competent jurisdiction for offences involving forgery of documents, a stolen identity, money laundering, and concealment of gratification. And now to stories on the foreign scene. Roadblocks set up across Peru by demonstrators demanding the resignation of the country's president will be dismantled, officials have said. Police and the military are preparing to mount a joint operation, according to the Defense and Interior Ministries. Supporters of former President Pedro Castillo took the streets after he was impeached and arrested for trying to dissolve Congress in December. They want his successor, Dina Bellotto, to quit and hold fresh elections. The Ministry of the Interior tweeted that blocking communication routes is a crime and said that 10 people had already died because ambulances could not get through roadblocks. The blockades have also resulted in shortages of fuel and food in several regions. Local media reported that some cities had seen the price of food, such as potatoes and tomatoes, increase threefold because roadblocks had left delivery lorries stranded. The Peruvian National Police, with the support of the armed forces, will unblock the national network of highways that have been the subject of a state of emergency. Algeria has unveiled a series of policies aimed at eliminating its dependence on fossil fuels. The oil and gas-rich nation will invest heavily in renewable energy, according to the government's energy transition strategy. Minister of Energy and Mines Mohamed Akab told the BBC that Algeria has more than 3,000 hours of sunshine per year. Some regions of the country count 3,900 hours per year, including plateaus and the desert. The Algerian Renewable Energy Program aims in the short and medium terms to build the capacity to produce 15,000 megawatts of solar energy, increasing the share of renewables in the energy mix of the country, which is currently just 1%. The state-owned oil and gas company, Sonatrach, plans to replace its conventional power plants throughout the south of the country with renewable energy plants with a capacity of 1,300 megawatts. Algeria has also announced the deployment of 1,000 chargers for electric vehicles throughout its 58 provinces by March this year to promote sustainability in the highly polluting transport industry. The minister has also expressed his country's keen interest in new technologies and the various applications of hydrogen as a significant contributor to its clean energy transition. And now to stories in sports. We now hook up with Jonah Malik, who has the update.
And on sports updates, Ajax have sacked Alfred Schroeder as manager of the club after a run of 7 league games without a win. The decision was taken after a 1-1 draw with lowly Volendam left Ajax 5th in the Dutch top flight and 7 points behind league leaders Feyenoord. Schroeder took over the club following the departure of Erik ten Hag to Manchester United last year. Ajax chief executive Edwin van der Sar said this is a painful decision, but it is necessary. Van der Sar added, "We gave Alfred our time and trust to change the way things are going. It became clear to us that he could not change the tide." Still on sports, the 4th round of the FA Cup gets underway on Friday when Premier League leaders Arsenal face Manchester City in a heavyweight tie at the Etihad Stadium. There are 16 matches over the course of 4 days, including non-league Wrexham time, and the lowest-ranked club left in the competition at home to Sheffield United on Sunday. Holders Liverpool are at Brighton on Sunday in all Premier League tie, while West Wall will host 2020-2021 winner Leicester City on Saturday. Others on Saturday, Accrington Stanley at home to Leeds United, Preston North End at home to Tottenham Hotspur. Moving on to tennis, Stefanos Tsitsipas has another chance to land his first Grand Slam title after reaching an Australian Open final by beating Russia Kevin Kakanov in the men's semi-finals. Third seed Tsitsipas 24-1, 7-6, 7-2, 6-4, 6-7, 6-8, 6-3 against Kakanov, who was going for a median major final. Nine-time champion Novak Djokovic hopes to reach a 10th final at Melbourne Park as he takes on American Tommy Paul in the last four. The winner faces third seed Stefanos Tsitsipas in the finals. And a sports update on MLC TV News, I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to Acosta for more stories.
Thank you for that report. And now to entertainment news update, we hook up with Matthias Ayodeji.
On our foreign entertainment news, Amber Rose has revealed that she doesn't want to get married for the rest of her life. According to People, Rose disclosed this on Sophia with an F podcast hosted by Sophia Franklin, where she spoke about her relationship history and shared her opinions on how men in general have changed her over time. People report that she also spoke about her previous relationship with Kanye West, 21 Savage, and ex-husband Wiz Khalifa. She claimed that men have become disgusting over time and that she no longer wants anything to do with them. She also said that she's cool with the idea of being with a woman, but is also content with being alone. This is coming after her ex-husband, Alexander A.E. Edwards, started dating singer Cher. Rose and Edwards dated for 3 years before ending their relationship in August 2021, with Rose coming out to say Edwards cheated on her with at least 12 people. Crossing over to Africa, Mike Abayomi Bamiloye, a gospel filmmaker and actor, has just decided Nigerian actors and filmmakers who romance and kiss each other on film sets. The filmmaker addressed this issue on his Instagram page, where he called out movie directors and filmmakers for the roles they give to actors and actresses. The founder of Mount Zion Ministries couldn't help but wonder how the actors thought their families would react if they saw them engage in sexual activities on film. This is coming days after the release of Netflix Shantytown, which had loads of sultry scenes that got the internet buzzing. And that's all on entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV. Back to Acosta for more stories.
Thank you, Matthias, for the update. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello and his Yobe State counterpart, Mai Malabuni, on Saturday paid a condolence visit to the Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, over the sudden death of his son Hassan. While speaking on behalf of the governors in Gudi, Nasarawa State, Bello noted that the death of a dear one is heartbreaking and devastating. This is contained in a press statement released by the Kogi State Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Onogo Ahmed. Governor Bello acknowledged that the late Hassan Sule was instrumental to the peaceful coexistence between his father's administration and the teeming youths across different ethnic and religious backgrounds in Nasarawa State. The governors admonished the bereaved family to be comforted and to take solace in the fact that their son lived an exemplary life worthy of emulation. They also sympathized with the people and government of Nasarawa State over the unfortunate bomb explosion that claimed some lives around Nasarawa-Benue border last week. They prayed that God grant the family the fortitude to bear the loss and the deceased eternal rest. While responding, the Emir of Lafia, His Royal Highness Sidi Bagay, thanked the governors for their show of love to one another. He said the death of Hassan Sule, like any other death, was a test from Almighty Allah, and they accepted the incident in good faith. Hassan Sule passed on Thursday at the age of 36. The 2007 set of Mass Communication Department of Kogi State University Ayimba Nampao condoled with Dr. Mrs. Olubumi Agbana over the death of her husband. Atabo Sylvester, the leader of the group, charged the widow to be strong to go through life, saying they are with her on behalf of the 2007 set of mass communication students of Kogi State University, Ayimba KSU. now Prince Abubakar Aldo University, Ayimba, to pay the deceased wife a condolence visit before the burial process. In his charge, Sylvester said what happened has already happened and there was no need to tell her sorry, but cheer up in order to justify the strong woman she has been from the beginning. Sylvester concluded that the 2007 Makosa set of KSU is a phenomenon that has been escalated into union. Dr. Olubumi Agbana, while responding, appreciated her undergraduate course sets for the show of love in a hard time like this. She promised to cheer up in order to withstand the enormous task ahead, stressing that it is only God that could fill the vacuum left. In a closing prayer, Rachel Ojochenemi Ocheni prayed that such a painful experience will not reoccur in the family and asked God to grant the departed soul eternal rest. Among those who were sent to represent the group were Atabo Sylvester, Veronica Okolo, Kingsley Odinia, Ibikunle Fumilayo, Ruth Joseph Ohinoyi, Rachel Ojochenemi Ocheni, and Abba Benjamin Inyojo Treasure. And that is the size of our package today. Do join us next week at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachite TV, and like and follow us on Facebook. It is MLC TV. Instagram, MLC TV 2021, and our Twitter handle is at MLC TV1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert, and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displaying on your screen. It's Malachite TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Morno Balagobo. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Bye for now.